should show up for everybody that we're recording. Everybody should be muted, and you are welcome to take yourself off mute if you want to say something, but we do ask that you stay, keep your mic muted while we're talking so that we don't have any background noise. If you have questions, Trish is with us and is going to monitor the chat window so that if you want to type your question, you can type it there and we'll make sure that we get those answered. And again, you're welcome as we go along. If you have a question you want to ask out loud, to unmute yourself and do it that way. So we've got Miss Link here. She will do our course overview for you. And then I will talk about how to do the online course requests and how to let us know what it is you want to try to take next year. And then we'll wrap up and let you ask any questions. One of the first things I want to say is that I know people do probably have a lot of questions about this current year and how that might impact your students' credits and going forward into next year. I don't have those answers for you today, but we will be sharing that out next week. And Mr. Meister, who has just joined us, he may speak to that a little bit too. We had a planning meeting this morning with the staff, and there's a lot of things in works and we're just not ready to share it with everybody yet. So just keep in mind that, if you do have questions about this school year, we won't be able to help you with that. We want to just really focus on, let's see what we can getting everybody registered for next year. So with that, I will turn it over to Miss Link and let her do her course registration presentation.
All right, let me get my screen shared here. All right, so seniors. So we're just gonna go over your required classes before we get into some of the other elective type things. As a senior, you have a lot fewer required classes, but you are required to take English. So English, you need to have a full year of English that can be taken in one semester if you're planning to graduate early. So just keep in mind you have to double up your English semester 1 if you're planning to graduate early. Otherwise, you need to have a reading and a writing class. So you can combine English composition, individualized reading, writing for the real world, great books, any of those combinations that you'd like. If you'd like, you can do AP language and composition. You can also do AP literature. You'll also have the option of doing a Hawkeye English class, composition 1 and composition and/or 2. So that composition class will only count for the writing English credit though. So if you're planning to graduate early, you'll still need to take that reading English credit. So even if you're not planning to graduate early, but it will count for that writing portion. If you are wanting to knock out that English credit for college, you will need to take Comp 1 and 2. Almost across the board, that will count for your English credit when you go into your 2 or 4 year college. I know that's confusing. If you have questions, we can go ahead and go over those when we're finished. Advanced computer apps. So if you haven't gotten that taken care of yet, you'll need to do that. Financial literacy is also a semester, and you'll need to have that taken care of if it hasn't been. Social studies, you'll need to do American government, and that is just 1 semester though. And then physical education. In physical education, you can waive for 1 semester if you're in a sport or if your course load doesn't allow it. So for example, you have got, the only way you can get into a class that you'd really like to be into is if you don't have PE. Then we can talk about waiving that PE. That is a formal process you need to go through though. So you need to go to the office and contact Suzanne, Trish, myself, Mr. Meister to have that PE waived if that's something you're interested in doing. Okay, optional classes. So if you've been in Spanish you can take Spanish 4. You need to have taken 1, 2, and 3, obviously. If you've only taken Spanish 1, then obviously you're going to 2. You're just going to go up the next level from whatever you've taken. You do not have to take Spanish, though. Math is also optional. You can take math. You can do geometry, algebra 2, vocational math, pre-calculus. Statistics is a 1-semester online class, and calculus is a 1-semester online class as well. So for those different options of math, you can also do, so those two, that, like I said, that statistics and the calculus are both online options. And then social studies, you have, you can do sociology, law, order, and society, contemporary affairs, psychology, modern history, international relations, intro to psych, which is 1-semester Hawkeye class, and intro to social, which is a 1-semester Hawkeye class as well. That intro to psych and intro to social are really great classes if you haven't taken a college class before and would kind of like to dip your toe in the water to see what it's going to be like. Again, those are online options though, so just to be aware that those will be classes that you are responsible for online. They don't meet at a class time, just to be clear. It's all back and forth online. So typically what ends up happening is you have, by the end of the week, or there's a particular time you'll have to have things turned in by. And we can go over that a little bit more when we get to registering for Hawkeye classes. Science, chemistry, advanced biology, physics, earth science. Those are all year-long courses. And something to think about with your math, social studies, and science that aren't necessarily required is that when you go to apply for college, those core credit classes will help you with admissions. So the state schools have got a score that they calculate. It's called RAI score. And those core credit classes that you have all contribute to that RAI score. If you're going the private route, those core credit classes will still help you. Another good reason to take a 4th year of one of these core classes is that it's going to help you with your ACT, and then you're not going to have gaps in those core subject areas when you do go into college, if that's something that you're planning to do. Band and choir, band or choir, sorry. And then tag is a application process. So if you are planning to do tag, you'll want to contact Ms. Jensen or myself to find out how you can apply for tag. All right, so electives. We have art, industrial tech, business, agriculture, school to work. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move to another room. The dogs continue to go crazy. So there's different categories of those, or there's different classes underneath those categories. They're all on your registration sheet, and they're all in Power School, which Suzanne will talk about in a little bit. So some of the classes have got prerequisites though. So for example, if you're wanting to do culinary arts, you'll need to do culinary arts 1 before you do culinary arts 2. School to work is an application process as well. So if you're interested in school to work, you will go ahead and contact me and let me know that's something you're interested in. I'll get you the information to apply. Hawkeye classes can count as an elective as well. That is a registration process that we'll talk about next. I feel like I'm just speeding through this, so I apologize. If you have any questions, make sure you're letting us know.
Ms. Link, there's a question in the chat.
Yeah.
So would you please explain individualized reading, English comp, and writing for the real world? Gives maybe some examples on how they're different, the scope of the course, that type of thing.
So let me go back. So English composition is going to be a good class to take if you are planning to go on. So if you're planning to go to a 2 or 4 year school, or if you are wanting and needing to be challenged. So that's going to be a little bit more challenging than the writing for the real world. Writing for the Real World's a great class if you're just looking to get some of those skills and not necessarily planning to go on to a 2 or 4 year school. Individualized reading is going to be a little bit less challenging than great books, I believe. So that's kind of, you can look in the course catalog to get a little bit more in-depth description of what those classes all entail. So AP, the most challenging classes are going to be AP Language and Composition and AP Literature. So just keep in mind that if you are interested in those classes, that will be even more challenging than the Hawkeye Composition 1 and 2. Does that make sense? Kind of? Okay. And if you have any more questions about any of these things too, if we don't answer them or if you're not comfortable with the big group setting, you can always email me and we can either chat over the phone or over email, and I can hopefully answer some of those questions for you. Okay. So then Hawkeye classes. As juniors and seniors, you're able to take Hawkeye classes. This credit, just something to keep in mind, is this credit counts for both your high school and college transcript. So it will go on your high school transcript as well as your college transcript. All Hawkeye classes, except for the egg classes that Mr. Sibula teaches, are online. So another thing to consider if you're concerned about your ability to work online, it might not be the best fit for you. It is all online though. The benefit of that is that we no longer have to worry about you trying to fit our schedule in with Hawkeye's schedule. So previously we had some classes in the ICN, and what would happen is that kids would end up missing multiple classes at North Tama because the hours don't quite jive. So it is nice that it'll work much better in your schedule, and we will give you a study hall for that class. So it's not as if you're just having to, load this on top of all of your other coursework. Unless that's something that you're really interested in doing, you can take all of your regular classes and then a Hawkeye class in addition to that. So fall semester classes, we're going to be offering Composition 1, Intro to Psych, Intro to Health Professions, Western Civ 2, and then at North Tama, we'll have Principles of Agronomy with Mr. Sibula. Semester 2 and spring semester is going to be Composition 2, Intro to Sociology, Intro to Business, Western Civ 3, and at North Tama we'll have Survey of the Animal Industries. So that Intro to Health Professions is a great class if you're considering doing anything in health professions. It's usually required for you to take too. So you'll be knocking something out of your course load when you do go to college. And just getting a good feel for if that's a field that you'd really like to go into. Western Civ 2 and Western Civ 3 generally will take care of your humanities credit. And every college calls it something else. I can't remember what Iowa calls it, but it's basically that humanities component of your liberal arts core. You do have to take both of them though, usually. So that's another thing to consider, that usually you'll need to have 2 of them, or 2 of those Western Civ classes. So moving on, then Hawkeye registration. I sent you all more detailed information about how you can register for Hawkeye courses. When you register, for Comp 1 and 2, you'll need to have an AccuPlacer score. And that score needs to be at a certain point. And I know that you guys probably remember when you were sophomores taking that, so it was a long time ago. It's pretty easy to retake that AccuPlacer if you're interested in Composition 1 or 2. And you can just talk to me about how you can do that. And if you have any problems at all registering, you just need to let me know. I can help, or I can point you in the right direction. It's a pretty easy process as long as everything goes okay. So, and just another thing to keep in mind, you'll need your social security number. Your social security number is what connects your transcripts throughout college. So like if you end up going to multiple schools, that's how they connect those transcripts in those classes. Okay, so graduation requirements. You need 8 semesters of physical education, which can be waived your sophomore, waived for 1 semester, your sophomore, junior, and senior year, but there has to be some sort of reason. You can't just waive it because it's not something you want to do. You need 8 semesters of English, so 4 full years. And again, something to keep in mind if you're thinking about graduating early, you'll need to double up on your English first semester. 6 semesters of math, 6 semesters of science, and 6 semesters of social studies. So 3 years each of those. 1 semester of computer applications, 1 semester of advanced computer apps, 1 semester of health, and 4 semesters of CTEs, including financial literacy. So those CTEs, usually it's not a problem to get. School to work does count as a CTE as well, so just something to consider. But it's something that you want to take a look at, particularly if you're thinking about graduating early. We want to be looking now at your credits and these requirements to make sure that you actually have the credits and we have everything squared away that you're able to graduate early. We don't want it to be something that, we're looking at midway through the semester. There is an application process to graduate early as well, and that's due in November. I don't have an exact date yet, but again, don't wait to that point to find out if you have enough credits to be graduating early. I think that pretty much covers it. It's a lot, so if you have other questions that come up later, just, please reach out to us.
Okay, I will go ahead and take over then and share with you how to submit those course requests to us. Okay, so you have 2 ways to do that. One is to take that course registration worksheet that you got by email, or it is, you can find it on the website, or we can mail it to you again if you have lost track of it. Highlight, circle the things that you want to take, and then take a picture or scan it and send it back to Ms. Link. Or you can go to the PowerSchool portal and submit it online. And by now, you guys should be used to doing this. It hasn't changed. It can be done in either the student or the parent portal. It does need to be done in the browser. It cannot be done through the app. So you'd need to use Safari or Chrome or whatever you have. If you don't remember your username and password, parents can use the forgot username or password link. You can also ask Trish or myself for help with that. And then students definitely have to ask us for help. We'll send it to you. So once you get signed in, you are going to look for class registration on the left side here. You click on that. And then it will bring up the different sections that you can fill out to request things. So financial literacy, this is not automatically selected for you, but if you have not taken it yet, you will want to select it so that it gets on your requests. And one of the things that we'll do as we go through the scheduling process is we will verify that students have it if they need it. So it helps us if you can request it and not rely on us, but we do kind of go through and verify that. Government, you do need to select that. I may go change that so it gets automatically selected. I will check on that. And then English, you're just going to click on the pencil over here and make sure that whatever it is that you're going to take, you get both the writing class and the reading class that you want. And you can also choose publications as an elective here if you want to. So if you're doing the English comp and great books, you'll choose those. There's writing for the real world, and individualized reading. If you want to do the Hawkeye English comp instead, for now I need you to go ahead and pick the 2 courses here, or you've got to pick the reading here. Choose the English composition and make sure you talk to Miss Link so that we are aware that you want to do the Hawkeye class, and we'll change that accordingly. But you are required to choose 2 courses there in order to submit this. Math is an elective as a senior, so then you can come in and choose if you want to there. And then you do have to choose electives. This is where you're going to choose any of your science classes that you might be interested in taking. This is also where you're going to find band and chorus. And any of those art, ag, FCS, any of those electives are going to be in this section. Again, I'm kind of feeling like a broken record, but make sure that you select both sections. One is semester 1, the other is semester 2. And then you can page through and see all of your options there. And then PE is automatically selected for you. And then if you're going to waive it, we will take care of that for you manually. And then the last thing you have to do is choose alternates. And so then the alternates are things that you would be interested in taking if we can't get you into the electives you've already chosen. That just kind of gives us an idea of, okay, well, I can't fit her in that class, but maybe this class will work instead. These 3 classes, you have to choose at least 3. These should be different than your electives. They should not be the same thing that you picked for electives. So then you do need to choose a couple here in order to get this to submit. And so then once you've done that, you can click the submit button, and that saves it automatically to our PowerSchool database so that the administrators can see it. And then it displays kind of a summary of what you picked. If after you've submitted it, you want to make changes, all you need to do is click on class registration again, and it takes you back to the page where you can then make any changes that you need to. Just make sure that you do click that submit button again to save anything you want to change. So while I'm here, are there any questions about doing this? By now, this should be old hat for you seniors, or going to be seniors. So it should look pretty familiar, but if you have any questions about it, you are more than welcome to send me or Trish an email and we'll give you a hand. But you are also welcome to just highlight, fill out, circle that worksheet and send that to Miss Link, and we will get your course request entered from there. So let me go back to sharing this here real quick. So if you don't have that worksheet, it is on the website. It was sent by email. We can get you another copy if you need it. Make sure that you get us those course requests either through the portal or by sending the worksheet. Hawkeye class registration, I believe, Ms. Link, that you've already sent all of that to the students, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. We will post the video of this presentation later and email the link and share it on social media and so forth, so that you can refer back to it if you need to. And we would like everyone to get their requests submitted by Thursday, April 9th at 4 o'clock. If you don't, Ms. Link will just make a schedule for you and will not be making schedule changes until the beginning of the school year in August. So we really want everybody to go ahead and get this done on their own. We're all here to help. Ms. Link, Trish, myself, send us an email, ask me to get on Zoom, and I'll talk you through it, whatever you need to do. So, Mr. Meister, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, hey, first of all, great to see everybody. Can't even begin to explain how much I miss the hum of the school day and everybody involved. Hope everybody's doing extremely well. Thank you to these 3 for pushing forward with the important registration stuff. Essentially, I just want to, let you know that if there's anything you need or anything you're wondering about, feel free at any point in time to reach out to me, via email. We can have a chat. I just hope that everything's going well. We received some really valuable information yesterday from the state level that now we can kind of piece together what we want maybe at least the middle of April to May to look like. And from there, things are still kind of up in the air, but we're hoping for the best. So like I said, if you need anything, please reach out to me via email. And I hope everyone's doing as well as they can, all things considered. So that's my piece, and thanks for joining us. Let us know if you need anything.
So can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
I didn't really touch on this, I guess. So with those English classes, the individualized reading and writing for the real world and stuff like that, as far as a sequence, there isn't one. So you don't need to take individualized reading before you take composition, for example. So you don't need to take, there's no sequence to it. It's just, they're separate classes. So I don't know if that was clear or not, but one doesn't need to be taken before the other. Does that make sense? Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? Now's your chance, or again, you can email us at any time. If not, we'll wrap this up and I will send the video out as soon as it is ready. Thanks everybody for coming. We really appreciate everybody that attended. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.